I strongly believe that sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like in certain situations, you could talk to a person. You express how you feel. They express how they feel. Y'all come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view. When it gets to the level, or when you deal with people that, like, sometimes how I used to be, I don't even want to hear that. I don't give a fuck how you felt. I don't care what you thought. What's up? What we doing?
And I'm a trained killer. Literally, like, fuck boxer. I'm a trained killer. So it'd be like, they be talking about these girls, and it's like, I don't do no 30-second fights. 30 seconds? Remember where your ass out? Listen, you give me 3 minutes with any of them girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, pause your scrolling because what we're about to get into is wild. Not just regular messy, but the kind of messy that makes you squint at your screen and go, wait, is this even real life? You might want to double check your Wi-Fi because this level of drama feels like it belongs in a movie, not your timeline. Just when the internet was still recovering from Remy Ma accepting what looked like a full-on Instagram proposal from Eazy The Block Captain, boom, here comes Papoose. But he didn't show up the way we're used to seeing him. He didn't come with a statement, a song, or even a warning. He came with Claressa Shields. Yes, Claressa the GOAT Shields, the undefeated Olympic boxing champion, the queen of knockouts. And now, the surprise guest star in one of the juiciest love triangles we've seen all year. The post? Silent but loud. It was a video of Papoose standing next to Claressa, with Faith Evans' I Love You playing in the background. No caption, no hashtags, just vibes. And then, Claressa reposted it. That's when we all knew this wasn't a coincidence. This was a move, a chess play, a subtle but deliberate clapback that had the internet in shambles. So let's rewind and unpack how we even got here. A few days earlier, Remy Ma posted a very emotional birthday message from Eazy. And this wasn't a casual happy birthday type message. Nah, it was a full-on love letter, dressed up as a public appreciation post. He called her his mirror, his piece, and said he owed her everything. It was deep, like Grammy-level poetic. And what did Remy do? She reposted it. No context, no denial, no, or just friends in sight, just silence. And that silence? That was a yes. So now, while fans were still catching their breath from that romantic plot twist, Papoose showed up with Claressa like, bet. Same exact formula. No words, just a video, R&B playing softly, and a vibe that said, watch this. That's when people really started freaking out. Comment sections lit up. Twitter exploded. TikToks dropped back to back like mixtapes. Everyone had an opinion. Some said Pap was being messy. Others praised him for the classiest clapback ever delivered without uttering a single word. And let's not act like this was random. This wasn't some chance backstage meetup or a casual encounter. At an event, the lighting was intentional. The body language, very cozy. The soundtrack, emotional and nostalgic. This wasn't a hey, we're friends kind of moment. This was crafted, framed, a message. Now enter Claressa. She's used to headlines, but usually for her dominance in the boxing ring, not romantic drama. And when the internet tried to come for her, pulling up an old photo of her and Papoose from years ago to start spinning rumors, she shut it down immediately. I was 15 in that picture, she said. Mic drop. She wasn't here to play and definitely wasn't going to let people write her story for her. And that clapback, it made the silence between her and Papoose even louder. Now let's talk about the music in that post. Faith Evans' I Love You. That's not a background filler track. That's the kind of song you pick when you want the world to feel something. A song with weight, emotion, history. And Pap, he's not the type to move without meaning. This is the same man who held Remy down through a prison sentence, who built his entire brand around loyalty and love. So when he posts a woman like that, with that song, you already know it's a statement. It didn't stop there. People began pulling receipts. They started digging up every time Claressa and Pap had been in the same space. Old photos, backstage, smiles, shared events. Fans became full-on detectives. Was this new? Was this happening behind the scenes for months? No one knew for sure, but one thing was clear. This wasn't out of the blue. This had been brewing. Then came the next twist. Late that night, after Papoose's post had gone viral and the internet was in full meltdown mode, Remy posted again. But it wasn't a photo or a statement. It was a black screen with white text, a quote that read something like, "Loyalty is a choice. Silence is protection. Real love doesn't need validation." Boom. That was all it took for fans to spiral. Was that about Papoose? About Claressa? Or maybe even a subtle dig at herself for getting caught up with Eazy? Nobody knew, but everybody felt it. And then, people noticed something wild. Remy had unfollowed Claressa. Now, let's be honest. Celebs don't unfollow people by accident, especially not during public scandals. That quiet click of the unfollow button was a message in itself. You're not in my circle anymore. No press release. No drama. Just a silent signal that things had officially gotten real. At this point, we've got 2 couples, 4 reposts, 1 unfollow, cryptic posts, and more theories than a true crime docuseries. And still, no one's saying anything directly. That's the genius of this whole situation. Nobody's yelling, nobody's name dropping, but somehow, it's all loud. Then the rumors really started flying. Out of nowhere, anonymous insiders popped up with DMs, voice notes, and alleged conversations. One claimed Remy was completely blindsided. Another said Pap had been emotionally checked out for months. And yet another swore Claressa and Pap had been close since spring. Nothing was confirmed, but in internet gossip culture, vibes often speak louder than facts. A popular gossip page even posted a voice memo allegedly from someone in Pap's inner circle. In it, the person said, "Pap been off that marriage. He just didn't make it messy like Remy did." Boom. Another bomb dropped. And the internet? Completely unhinged. Comment sections lit up again with takes like, Remy had Eazy in the front row at rap battles while Pap was cooking dinner, and Claressa about to knock both their reputations out. Then the brand drama hit. Because when personal lives get messy, the sponsorships start pulling back. Claressa's PR team put out a quiet announcement saying she'd be stepping back from certain public appearances to focus on training. No explanation, just a clean, subtle move. But the timing? Highly suspicious. Just days after she and Pap went viral, then Remy really shocked everyone. She went live, just her. No makeup, soft lighting, looking tired but fierce. She didn't name names. She didn't explain anything. But she did say, "You can give the world to someone, and they'll still look for more." And just like that, she ended the live. That one line said everything. It wasn't shade. It was heartbreak wearing armor. The kind of pain you don't hide, but you
We all know that Remy was already out here having her little boy toy or whatever friend. He done came out and done said it that they were in a relationship 2 years.
Wow.
So don't look at me and say, "Oh, you just came and messed up this happy home and stuff like that," because that's not what happened.
Because that relationship was already over.
don't hand over either. But guess what happened next? Papoose posted again. Not a story, a feed post. Just one line, "Grateful for peace." That's it. One sentence. And yet it screamed volumes. Fans lost it. Now it felt like war. No longer about love or relationships, but about control, respect, and who walks away cleaner. Meanwhile, Eazy started reposting fan edits of him and Remy like they were the new it couple on reality TV. No shame, no hesitation, just doubling down. And then someone leaked footage from that Power 106 event. A behind-the-scenes video showed Claressa and Papoose off stage, laughing, chatting, way too comfortable to just be acquaintances. It wasn't over-the-top flirty, but it wasn't neutral either. You could tell these two had a connection, and not a brand new one either. That's when the internet stopped calling it a rebound or a clapback. People began saying it out loud. This was a relationship that had already begun quietly, privately, intentionally, and now it's all playing out in public. The repost, the song, the unfollow, the lives, the captions, the silence. But here's the kicker: this isn't just about romance anymore. This is about loyalty, reputation, and legacy. Because Papoose wasn't just known as a rapper. He was the symbol of unwavering love. A man who stood by his wife through prison, who praised her in songs, who made black love his brand. So when he moves like this, people pay attention. This situation isn't just tea. It's a whole pot boiling over with every eye watching. And trust, this is just part one. Because once we start diving into the brand deals affected, the DMs that haven't gone public yet, and who's really telling the truth behind the scenes, this story isn't ending, it's just getting started. So buckle up. Because what started as a few Instagram posts might just reshape the way we talk about Love, loyalty, and legacy in the public eye. And baby, this saga isn't over. Not even close.